Hello, dear students. I am Professor Muhammad Masood Ahmad. It's my legal class. And today's topic is reforms made under the Plan of 1774 and Reorganization in 1780, Regulating Act of 1773. So this is in the law subject titled as History of Courts, Legislature and Legal Profession in India. So this subject is there in L.L.B course affiliated to Osmania University and most of the universities in India. So let's go for the next slide. Reforms made under the plan of 1774. In the judicial reforms of 1774, the entire Mufassil area of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa was divided into 6 divisions: Calcutta, Burudwan, Murshidabad, Dinajpur, Dhaka, Patna. As you know, we are talking about 1774. The Dhaka, it was in undivided uh, India. So, but now it is in Bangladesh. So each division had its own provincial council, which consisted of 4 or 5 British servants, company, that servants of the company. Let's go for the other point. The collectors were being replaced by the amils or divans who were appointed in each district. The rule of the amils and divans was to perform the duty of a revenue collector as well as judge of Mufassil Divan Adalat. So this is the reforms made in 1774 plan. Reorganization in 1780. The new plan was introduced in 1780. The main feature of Hastings Judicial Plan of 1780 was the separation of judicial work from revenue collections. A Diwani Adalat was established in each of the 6 divisions of the Calcutta, Patna, Murshidabad, Burudwan, Dhaka, and Dinajpur. The plan of 1780 was certainly a great improvement upon the plan of 1774. Its main merit lay in its effecting the separation of the judicial from the executive function. It was a welcome change. The plan, however, suffered from defects also. So whenever we go for the plan, so we have the few advantages, and at the same time, once we use and follow the enactment or reforms, we find there are some vacuum there. The Regulating Act of 1774 was an act of Parliament of Great Britain intended to overhaul the management of East India Company's rule in India. See, 1774 means we started East India Company on the 1st January 1601. It's almost 173 countries, 173 year old. The act did not prove to be a long-term solution to concerns over the company's affair. Pitt's India Act was therefore subsequently enacted in 1784 as a more radical reform. Regulating Act of 1774, East India Company Acts 1772. So, pictorial representation, we can see. So, what are the main components and insights? Regulated East India Company's Indian territories. They wanted to regulate the East India Company in Indian territories. Banned implies from receiving gifts, bribes from the private trade. So, because the scenario was totally different, that the corruption practices were there in the form of gifts, so that they stopped. The Governor of Bengal changed to Governor General of Bengal. So the nomenclature, the designation, the Governor of Bengal. Now it is Governor General of Bengal. Supreme Court to be established in Bengal. So this is one more the regulation and reform. Administration by the Governor General and Council with 4 members. The last one laid foundation to central administration in India. So this is the Regulating Act of 1774. Reasons behind 1773 Act: territorial expansion, corruption amongst the servants of the company, lack of proper judicial administration, lack of proper central authority, deteriorating financial conditions of the company's defeat in 1769 at the hands of Hyder Ali. Hyder Ali was the freedom fighter, the father of Tipu Sultan, Mysore. Terrible famine in Bengal. The company applied for a loan of £1 million in 1772. Judicial plans in 1772, 1774, and 1780. So this is the chronology. The judicial plan is started in 1772. Baron Hastings introduced the first judicial plan, which emphasized focused courts, impartially opens, and efficient record keeping. Then what happened in 1774? The next judicial plan attempted to make officers of the court more accountable and responsive to the districts in which they were appointed. However, it also concentrated power in the hands of officers appointed by East India Company. Then last one, 1780, under the third plan, the judicial functions were separated from the revenue and administrative work. The first code of civil procedure was introduced and the number of civil courts were increased, making them easier to access. So the first time the code of civil procedure was introduced in 1780. So this is the landmark year, 1780. Conclusion: the system under the plan 1772 continued till 1774. Hardly it is for 2 years. The system under the plan of 1774 continued till 1780. There was reorganization of Adalat system in the year 1780. This is the conclusion. Thank you, my dear students. So this is one of the topic of history of court, legislature, and legal profession in India. This subject is there in most of the L.L.B courses, whether it is 3 years or 5 years all over India. Thank you. All the best, and we'll be meeting in the next class.